conveying what the police are saying. You can stand on this sidewalk, but you can't stand here. Private property has for Times Square. Want to talk Times Square? That's fine. All right.
And we're with you.
Today, we're on private property.
Private property.
It belongs to someone at Times Square who made a lot of money and bought a little square where there should be free speech. But apparently there's not. We can stand on the street. Or we can stand our ground. Like Bradley Manning. Is 35 years too much?
Way too much.
What should happen to Bradley Manning?
Release
Bradley Manning!
Release him right now. We do know that people are gathering in 17 cities today, which only came together in the last 2 days. And this is very, very important. Bradley is in danger. Edward Snowden is in danger. Journalism is in danger. Everybody who cares about humanity needs to jump in and be involved in this struggle. So again, we say, free Bradley Manning. This guy is 25 years old.
25 years old.
He's made a huge contribution to the humanity in the world. And it's up to us to free him.
It's up to us to free him.
I want everybody to get a copy of Collateral Murder. And the rest of this month in August, show it. You can get a free DVD from World Can't Wait. And you can find a place to show it and lead a discussion. Get it on the air, get it on cable. This is really what Bradley's gone to prison for. Until I went to the trial, I did not understand how much the U.S. hated the fact that their own film was leaked to the public. They called it propaganda. Unbelievable, it's their own film. We didn't edit it. We didn't have to change it. We just had to show what they did. This is completely outrageous. It comes in waves how unjust this is and what they've done to Bradley. Let's spread these flyers around. Speak up.
Just a few words.
Check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Hi, I'm from Peace Action Staten Island and Peace Action New York State. Just a few words. The sentence for Bradley Manning is draconian. 35 years for telling the truth.
35 years for telling the truth
To the American people.
to the American people.
They got him on charges of spying. He spied for nothing. All he did was show war crimes. And show the American people that we have a government that operates in secret. A government that tortures.
A government that tortures. Like David Petraeus, who has a new job at CUNY. Like Bob Gates, who was Obama's defense secretary. These people are free. Well, Bradley Manning's been locked up. We are here to protest. This is the beginning of another round. Of actions. To demand freedom for Bradley Manning. And support for whistleblowers. Edward Snowden. WikiLeaks. Julian Assange. And all the journalists. Like Glenn Greenwald. truth out. It's only with us.
It's only with us.
The people who won't shut up. Who keep protesting war crimes.
Keep protesting war crimes.
No matter who does them.
No matter who does it.
These people will ever be free.
Bradley Manning
Bradley Manning
has been the seventh person
as the seventh person
to be indicted under the Espionage Act.
to be indicted under the Espionage
Many
Act,
of you know Snowden, who has made recent revelations
who has made recent revelations
about mass surveillance
of mass surveillance,
United States,
not just in the United
all
States,
over the world.
but all over the
We've
world,
been living with the longest U.S. wars
living with the longest U.S. wars
in the military occupations of Iraq and Afghanistan.
and the military occupation of Iraq and Afghanistan.
Wars are being financed
And these wars are being
with your tax
financed
dollars. And without your
out and without your consent.
say no.
Say no. End all wars. End all occupations. And do not smile at surveillance the way that sign tells you to. The way that sign tells you to do.
Free Bradley Manning, he's our hero. He's a man of conscience.
I would have to say that Bradley Manning has been railroaded by a government who is guilty of an enormous number of war crimes for which they are not on.
A constitution that was given by the First Nations, who came here 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, to remind us that constitutional democracy was a gift from them. This trade deal makes NDAA look like child's play. This trade deal makes NAFTA look like a joke. This trade deal nobody knows about, and that is why it has power. And that is why we are so capable of stopping it. Because that is all it takes for us to win this battle that we have been in and without. I do not want to see the sacrifice of people like Bradley Manning go wasted. I don't want to see the sacrifice of the young children in Occupy go wasted. This October will determine the future of this country and our planet, because the president that is forcing this corporate coup down our throats, and with prayers to our president for his protection and guidance, I implore him and every single one of our public officials to question whether or not they will sign over the U.S. Constitution to 600 corporations under the Trans-Pacific Partnership deal. The Trans-Pacific Partnership will make the United States, Canada, Mexico, Chile, Peru, New Zealand, Australia, Japan, Vietnam, and several other subservient to every single corporation right now that has destroyed the planetary economy. The perpetrators of the 2008 crash are attempting a secret takeover of our country and 45% of the planetary GDP. It is imperative that we all stand together. In the words of one of our forefathers, Benjamin Franklin, we must all hang together, or assuredly we will all hang separately. We must bring together the Tea Party, Occupy, no more, it'll no more, and all of our brave brothers and sisters that will be marching next week on the 50-year anniversary of Martin Luther King's speech that changed this nation, that brought it closer to that ever-advancing, hard track of peace and justice. Asking every single one of you and every single one of our brothers and sisters to make a decision from here on out whether or not they are friends of mankind, servants of our Creator, Americans, planetary citizens, or if they're in it for themselves. Because that is who is going to determine whether or not the United States becomes a corporate puppet. I have shared this call to action on a globalpublicservant.net. And I implore you all on September 17th to come out. Times Square at 2 o'clock, where we come together with the Robin Hood tax, where we come together with, hopefully, I pray, the blessing of the First Nations that gave us this land. We have been denied the capacity to participate in human evolution. Do not let this happen. We need to defend our brothers who have served our country and paid their sacrifice, and we cannot lay back and just watch as our country gets stolen, and as Australia gets stolen, and as Japan gets stolen, and as every single Native American nation in this gets stolen. I will not stand back any longer and allow these so-called activists or Americans wear that badge until they join this fight to stop the corporate coup and to stop the TPP and to start our economy, to start our people's food system. This is that day where we begin to make that choice. Are you an American? Are you a Japanese citizen? Are you an Australian? Are you a First Nation? Are you a people? Are you a citizen of the world? It is some kind of feel-good concert. It's hard work, and it feels good to do work. It feels good to serve our fellow people, and it is a crime that we have corporations like Apple and like GE that pay zero taxes and now want us to pay taxes to them. Exactly. Trans-Pacific Partnership, look it up. You want to pay taxes to Apple? Do you want to pay taxes to GE? Hell no! That's what I say. Do I get an amen? Amen. Hell no! I'm not going to pay taxes to GE. Hell no! I'm not even going to pay taxes to a so-called Congress and Senate and I love Obama. It's hard to say. It's hard to say to an executive branch that's not fulfilling its obligations, but it isn't. How can I fulfill my responsibility when they're shoving this down our throats? So I invite all of you to please join each other to stop this trade agreement. Stop the offshoring. Stop the exploitation of our land. Stop the extermination of all of these species. And stop the control of our communication. If we beat the TPP, the people win once and for all. And we can do it together. But if we do it separately, we will accomplish nothing. Thank you guys for entertaining my rant. I love all of you. I thank every single Thank you guys. We got it. We're awake. We're all awake. It's time to do. What does Nike say? What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? We have all of the advertisements to encourage us. Let's just get it done and find out which one of these companies is actually gonna make this planet work, or are they just gonna keep reaming us from behind? Taking our jobs. Oh, that's sort of weird, sorry. But we've got to make our stand together. Yeah, yeah. They do, and they want us to pay them more. We're not taking it anymore. We're not taking it anymore. We're not gonna take it. And now I want to invite all of you that we need to stay and stick together. We all need to go and honor what Martin Luther King sacrificed his life in order to realize. And we're still so far from realizing it. We cannot work together unless we start listening to each other. So everybody go to DC. I will go. And everybody support the indigenous peoples that gave us this Constitution. On September 17th, it is the 220. On September 17th.
September 17th!
It is the 203rd anniversary
236th anniversary!
of the first treaty between the United States
The first treaty between the United States
and the Lenape people, the First Nations of this land.
the First Nation of this land!
It is the 226th anniversary
226th anniversary
of the signing of the U.S. Constitution.
of the U.S. The Constitution, guys!
It is the 9-year anniversary of the first release of Lennox.
The first release! Woo!
It's what makes Apple run.
Oh, fuck Apple!
Eat it, Apple.
Oh yeah, look at my phone. Fuck Apple. See that?
It is also the 5-year anniversary of the crash. It is also the 2-year anniversary of Occupy. We all bring your friends, bring your brothers, bring your sisters, bring your costumes, and come here at 2 o'clock. And we, September 17th.
Be here, September 17th.
I wanted to contrast Bradley Manning, whistleblower, who took a courageous leap and information to WikiLeaks in order to put it in front of the world. This was information about U.S. war crimes that included the treatment of detainees, the torture of people, the killing of civilians, the systematic abuse of civilians, the destruction of a whole society, and the dirty dealing of the U.S. with other countries. I want to contrast him being sentenced today to 35 years in military prison to what's happened to other so-called criminals who really were criminals, who sat at the top of the Bush regime, who led, who legally justified, and then who carried out war crimes. How many of them sitting in universities and war profiteers and private contractors and still in government were prosecuted and put in prison? Exactly zero. How many of the lower level soldiers who carried out the murder and abuse and torture of civilians and prisoners in Iraq and Afghanistan have received anything like Bradley Manning received. None of them. 10 years at the most for killing Iraqi civilians. And this is what stands for what this country is putting out to the world today. Whistleblowers have to fear a huge amount of time in prison, and people who commit war crimes go free. That's all I have. I'm angry.